What up? What's good, family? I'm your boy Trey Frazier. Got my brother Maestro Styles here with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Shout out to all of our Facebook Live viewers right now. Make sure y'all tune in on Facebook Live. Click the like button. Also, you can check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. And check us out on social media on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. What's good, bro? How you living?
Hey, man, just another day, man. I rather let's just get into the sports. Can we start a WTF segment in the beginning of every episode of smaller news things that
That's funny you
I
say
don't.
that because I actually have a WTF moment too. You go ahead and
All
roll.
right, I'll share mine then. And why the fuck are they reporting that the last dog in the dog Vic in a Mike Vick dog fighting ring just died today?
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, why?
What is that for?
What's the point? Yeah, like what's the point, right?
Who cares? What?
Like
What
like
is
who the
that?
hell was
What is
following
that?
that?
Who right? Who knows every single dog that was
Who was
involved?
following that? We talking what, 14 years since that happened? Like
Yeah, that I found that to be very irritating in my Twitter search. Going through Twitter right before the show, that was one of the things that was trending on Twitter, that the last dog in the dog fighting ring died.
yeah. That's bananas, man.
That's irritating. I was
Well,
just irritated.
well, my WTF moment. I saw a rendering. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but someone on Twitter posted a rendering of the Washington football team having their own benches at tonight's Eagles game.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I was like, oh, they copying off of what the Cowboys did last week. And it turns out, um, I mean, to my recollection, it's photoshopped. And it's like what the hell? Like,
No, that's not Photoshop. Well,
it's not.
maybe the one you saw was, but I saw that earlier today that they definitely brung their bench.
They got their benches. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a company.
yeah.
There's a company. I'm not gonna name the name because I don't remember it, but yeah, this company designs these benches for these teams apparently. So you might be seeing more of these things at these NFL games, particularly teams on the road bringing their own benches with their own names on it.
Yeah.
But
I got one more. And before I get into it, let me just say I hope he is okay, and I'm sure he'll be okay and get through all this. I'm scrolling
oh,
through Twitter, and 10 hours ago, which there's a tweet from Stephen A. Smith that says, "I got something to tell y'all. Tune in to First Take on ESP. Tune in." Now I don't, I don't watch a whole bunch of ESPN nowadays, but of course it was on social media,
yeah.
and this ain't the announcement. This ain't no announcement like, ooh, you know, First Take is moving to this, so I got a raise, or
Yeah.
we about to introduce a new person to the show. Not even that. Yeah, I've been fucking Molly Karam. He got on to this joint to announce that he got COVID-19.
And to continue to talk about Kyrie Irving in a negative light at that. Like
Like what the
that's what you
for
came on
what?
for? That's what you came on First Take for?
Nigga, get some sleep. Get some sleep and get well, my G. I don't need to know that.
My man.
I don't need you to tweet that you got some news, and God forbid somebody really think you talking about something real that we interested. And again, let me say, I hope he gets better.
Hmm.
Nah, bruh, don't roll out your COVID-19, your positive COVID-19 dog. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's the Kyrie Irving stuff. It's like, come on, man. You came on just to talk about that?
I'm sorry,
so
bro.
ironic.
There is no.
And it's so ironic that this conversation involving Kyrie was about him not being vaccinated and being able to play this season, and turns out Stephen A. tested positive. Not that that's any kind of karma or anything like that. I'm not trying to insinuate that, but it's just funny how every time he talks about Kyrie Irving, it seems like these days it's in regard to him not playing because he doesn't want to get the vaccine. And Stephen A. tests positive, and he comes on. Not only does he announce he has it, but they got to have a topic about Kyrie Irving because now the Nets want to, basically bring him back on a halftime basis, which is their prerogative, by the way. And I said this, and I said this, a while back. I said at some capacity he's gonna come back, whether they lie about his vaccination status, whether he gets the shot, or whether they play him, part time, whether they just have him play road games.
What for? What? For what? So why did you even go through all that shit? All that. We, basically, not, I guess it's more media than it is the actual team that was vilifying them. But at the same time, it was y'all, and it was y'all that put it out. It was y'all that was, oh, we don't want no part-time player, whatever the quotes were when it was a story. And here you are, doubling back. Now you want him to play? Why you want him to? Why you want him to play now? Why? For what reason is it vital halfway through the season?
Who wanted him to play? You talking about Stephen A?
The Nets.
Or the Nets?
No, the Nets.
Oh.
Why do the Nets want him to play now after all the hoopla, all the bullshit that was going on? Y'all made a stand. Y'all drew your line in the sand before the season started, and here we are. Why? For what reason?
Because number one, they can. Number one, they can. Number two, guys are on COVID. KD, I think, tested positive. He was in protocol. I think they had like 5 or 6 different players from the Nets in protocol, and I think they had a couple of games postponed because of that. I mean, it's running rampant throughout the league. Games are getting canceled and stuff throughout. But I'm strictly talking about the NBA. It's running rampant, throughout the league. They're worried about their Christmas Day games now, which, look, if you're going to, throw some, practice squad guys out there, then do what you got to do, or just cancel the games altogether. But they can do that. The Nets can, just like Bruce Arians told the media, I don't give a damn what y'all think, I'm bringing Antonio Brown back. After what he said about, if Antonio Brown slips up, then, that's it. We getting rid of him. But, these organizations, these coaches, they, at the end of the day, they could say what they want and try to stand by it, but things change. Circumstances change, and they got so much money and so much power that they can do what they want. And they're going to get criticized for it, but they're going to move about their business of trying to win games. So that's kind of the way I see it. I'm not surprised that this has come down to what it's come down to with the Nets and Kyrie.
Not surprised. I'm irritated. Why? That still don't make sense to me. So you keep it. Yeah, the obvious not digging into the conversation answer is because they want to. Sure. But you're now bringing the evil unvaxxed Kyrie Irving to play road games after you basically are the reason why he's being considered evil within the press and the media. Why? Like, that don't make sense to me. Now, don't give me now people are getting vaccinated, so we need extra players. So now you're going to bring the unvaccinated person that you say is the problem into your locker room or into your road locker room. By the way, you're still going to be with players and in danger of spreading the vaccine just like everybody else is. By the way, but why that don't that's not a um that's not a satisfactory answer for me. And I know you don't have the answer. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I don't
that's
accept
bullshit.
that they can
That's
do it.
yeah, that's not a satisfact. No, I do accept it. I have no choice but to accept it.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's not a satisfactory answer. Because I want to. After y'all did all that bullshit. Yeah, I ain't gonna say all that bullshit. You made a choice. You drew a line in the sand and said because you decided to not get vaccinated that you cannot play basketball. Now he didn't get vaccinated, so you draw that hard line in the sand, and he becomes the NBA vaccinated, the unvaccinated villain, and now you want to bring the villain back into the NBA, and I don't
Now,
get why. It's not like the Nets are doing bad. The Nets are doing just fine within the confines of their record and their projections.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say they don't need Kyrie, but they're doing fine without him.
Yeah.
I don't get this. I want to know. I want answers. I want fucking answers. I get that I might not get them, but this is my place to vent. I want answers.
Well, I just think that, and I was going to ask you too, was the issue for the Nets really that he was unvaccinated, or was it that they didn't want him playing half of the schedule? Because the last time I recollect, it was that they didn't want him just playing games on the road. And for the record, this thing about you can play road games but you can't, or I'm sorry, about other teams coming into your arena in Brooklyn unvaccinated playing, but your own team's players can't play, like that still doesn't make sense to me. Like that rule was kind of stupid from the jump. But I thought that the Nets' issue was that they didn't want him playing half of the games. It's either you're going to play all 82 games or you're not going to play none of the 82 games.
Okay, that may be the case. Why all of a sudden you want him to play half the games now? It's just not making sense to me. And like, what happened? What change of heart did you have? Do you feel differently about the vaccination now? Now that you see people are getting it, now you need to. I mean, that's. I get it.
I think for me, I just again the easiest answer to say is they can do it because they can. But I just don't. Me personally, the rule is stupid. Like in terms of other teams' players coming in and not being vaccinated to play in that building, I think it's stupid.
Now I get that Kyrie Irving is not going to do this, but can I go down a rabbit hole, if you will?
Man, we got all day, man.
Not really, but I'll go down this rabbit hole. You know what? If I'm Kyrie Irving, I'm paid already. Now, obviously, I'm missing out on some money this year because of what's going on. But y'all done put me to the wolves in the media. I get all this, mental trauma. Let's say I'm mentally, affected, spiritually affected by all this trauma that's coming to me because of my life decision. And I say, you know what? I ain't in the mood to play basketball no more. Then what? What do you have to then what's the repercussions now? What do y'all do now? Because for me, it's just like, bruh, don't draw your hard line in the sand and then come back and double down on it.
Yeah. In some cases, you knew it was going to happen. Like, I think if you talk to people in them circles, they would probably tell you that they saw this, and maybe they didn't see it in December. Maybe they saw this happening February, maybe after the All-Star break. Maybe they saw it coming then. But at some point, you were going to see Kyrie Irving suit up for the Brooklyn Nets in some capacity.
And then look at the timing. And then look at the timing of this news. The timing of this news when we haven't. I don't know about the rest of the country, but I can only assume. But I know in DC, I'm talking about in the DMV area alone, we have had a rack of cases over the weekend.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
State of Maryland.
Yeah.
Rapid,
going crazy. Oh, like, I'm hearing stories about people who can't even get in there to get tested because there's so much going on right now. And, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, so now you about to tell me that y'all not prepared for this neither. And I'm not going to go off of sports, but now y'all not prepared for this neither. So now the NBA not prepared for this, and the NFL not prepared for this, and like so now we going right back the same rabbit hole that we was in.
Yeah, last year when we were talking about what the leagues were gonna do, the NBA ended up doing the bubble. You were against the bubble. You understood it, but you were against it. The NHL did the same thing. Baseball shortened their season. The NFL just decided we're just going to play in empty stadiums. We're going to get this season in no matter what, even if we got to move games, which they've done this weekend. Matter of fact, while we're talking, there's
football
2 games on right now.
now.
Yeah. Eagles are playing the football team right now. Or the Seahawks are playing the Rams right now. You had 2 games last night, Monday Night Football. Who else knows what's coming down the pike here with the league here? But I saw something from Adam Silver today, basically saying he has no plans to put a pause on the league right now. And I don't know if you saw the NHL; they're stopping their season for about a week, I think. And it kind of goes into their Christmas break anyway, because I think they had like 3 days of Christmas vacation off from playing games anyway, so it kind of extends into that break. But because, Christmas Day basically is the NBA's day to shine, they don't want to lose that revenue now. I don't know what they're going to do about their stars because Anthony Davis is hurt. He's going to be out for, I think, 4 or 5 weeks. Kevin Durant,
not like he playing good basketball anyway.
What's that?
So I ain't want to throw no. Not like he playing good basketball anyway right now.
Yeah, well, that whole team
Anthony
ain't
Davis
playing good basketball.
But I digress.
But Kevin Durant is under protocols. I think you got a few other Nets on that team that's under protocol. Trey Young is on the list. Out right now. You got Collins is out on that team too, and a few other Hawks. The Knicks got players in protocol. It's crazy what's going on. With some of these players right now. So, and we're 3 days away from Christmas Day, and who knows what else can happen between now and then with these numbers going up.
Yeah, man. Look, man. I sincerely do pray that we all get through this the safest way possible. With that being said, it seems like nobody gives a fuck about COVID-19 no more. We're not about to take no more L's business-wise, financially, and it seems like at this point they just saying, "Hey, man, go ahead and." But you know what, man? I'm not going conspiracy theory. It just hit me in my spirit, but I'm not going conspiracy theory right now. But I just want to say that it's awful ironic that the way they've been forcing people to get these vaccines, and now all of a sudden we not stopping business no more due to COVID protocols.
Yeah,
nobody stopping
finest.
business. None. I ain't even gonna get into the politics because I just seen a Joe Biden clip on Instagram before the show started. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm just saying that it seems real. It just seems real coincidental that the way they forced these vaccines and now they ready to go all business as usual. And even though these vaccinated people are getting sick just like unvaccinated people, and now all of a sudden we don't want to stop the world no more.
Yeah, they don't want to go back to what it was March 2020. They don't want to go back to that.
And trust me, I understand it, but but also trust that I understand the unethicalness of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that we're at this stage. I just hope that
Not surprised, just disgusted, Trey. I feel you. I'm definitely not surprised. It's just at this point, it's like, damn, like, all right, people are getting what was it, like 20, 21 people in Washington, 10 in like they 10 in Cleveland or something crazy like that. Like it's just going crazy, and it's just like,
you're talking about the players, right?
Haven't Yeah, players, yeah,
Yep.
that you know, and the list just keep getting. I just heard Tyreek Hill might not play on Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to get into that. Travis Kelce's on that list as well as Harrison Butker and Tyreek Hill. Those are the three notable Chiefs on that list.
Notables, right?
But there's I think 3 or 4 other players from that team that's on that list also. And yeah, there's a threat that they're not going to play. So, but I'm sure you got to be thinking in your head, Steelers.
Of course I am.
You got to be thinking that. Yeah.
Of course I am. But we not at that segment. We wasn't at that segment, so I wasn't going to speak on that. And look, man, I hope I hope they feel better, all those things. But if they miss Sunday's game, I ain't going to be mad in the slightest. I just want to make the playoffs. Pissed. I know my team is trash. My team is trash, and we don't deserve to make the playoffs. But that don't mean I don't want to make it.
Now that would make me pissed. That would make me go into my conspiracy theorist rant right now. But I would love to beat the Chiefs because by any means necessary. But for certain, that ups the probability with those people gone. So yeah. That would make me upset. Like that.
I'll be honest with you. We probably still lose by 3.
Yeah. Hey, Edwards-Helaire, if he's still there, they might run the ball with him.
Yeah, well, he's definitely there.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, granted, he don't get put on that list between now and Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's and I hope that everybody, not just
everybody
in sports, but in people in life, no matter what your occupation is, what you do for a living. I just hope everybody just lives a safe, healthy, productive life moving forward. And just
100%.
Fight through this thing. Cause
take care of yourself. Wear your mask. Wash your hands.
Yeah, just take care of yourself. I've had
whatever that looks like for you. Take care of yourself.
I had that, bruh. Last year when I had that thing, man. I said, man, never again. Never again.
Well, you can't really say never again, bruh.
Nah, I know. I mean, I'm doing what from that point on, I've been doing what I needed to do to make sure that I don't go through those symptoms again. God forbid I do get it again.
God forbid you do. Let me say that.
I've been doing the right things. Vitamin C, vitamin E. I don't mean to go into all that, but
sure.
People gotta understand, man. Take your vitamins, drink plenty of water, eat your fruits, blend your smoothies, whatever. Do what you gotta do to make sure your body's healthy.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's talk some football, man. Where you want to start, man?
Well, I'll sit here and pretend like I watched the Pittsburgh game. I didn't watch it. I'll be honest with you. I watched it for about 5 minutes and watched a whole lot of the same of us getting ran on. A whole bunch of more poor tackling and those things. I do want to say congrats to T.J. Watt for breaking the single season franchise record, beating James Harrison out. So he's there, and for nothing, he does have an opportunity to break the
Strahan record.
The Strahan record. He does have an opportunity to break the Strahan record. So
what's the number that he's at now?
He's at 16.
16?
16, yeah.
16. So
He might be at 17 and a half. I'm sorry. He said 17 and a half.
17 and a half. Okay, so that's
I remember
5.
somebody saying he had 5 more to go. I remember somebody saying he had 5 more to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. But in reference to the game, if we didn't get 4 turnovers, we wouldn't have won the game. But we got 4 turnovers and got 3 field goals over those 4 turnovers. I mean, if that's any constellation of how that game went, there you go. Najee Harris was shut down, and some of it is his fault, but some of it ain't his fault, and I'll say most of it ain't his fault. But Titans is a good rush defense as well, so nothing to report there. Defense was trash, as we have been for the year. So just more of that. On the positive side, we got to win. So we're still in the playoff race. Happy that you guys had Green Bay on the same week we had Tennessee, and that the Browns lost. So that helps our chances. I had a tweet somewhere that now the thing that I'm doing now was finding who I need to root for every week.
Oh, you talking
in order
about
for us to get into the.
You talking about that list that you retweeted?
Yeah. So this week I'll read my list off for you. This week is I'm rooting for the 49ers this week, the Packers, the Arizona Cardinals, the Ravens. I'm rooting for the Ravens this week.
Well, I understand that.
Patriots.
I actually understand
Patriots.
why. Mm-hmm.
Rooting for the Patriots. I'm rooting for the Texans. I'm rooting for the Broncos. And I'm also rooting for the Saints. Now, these are not all the things that have to happen for us to be there. I'm just saying that these, in a perfect world, these are the games that yeah.
Because some of them teams is unrealistic. Like Texans over the Chargers. They play the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That ain't happening.
Unrealistic, but that's why they play the games, right?
Yeah. That's why they play the games. I mean, I'll get into the Cardinals in a second, but I don't like their chances against the Colts on Christmas night. I don't the way they've been floundering lately. I don't like their chances. So I think the Titans are in danger of losing the AFC South. 4 turnovers and lack of a running game late in the game. You got to focus on Tannehill trying to, make something happen. And, we all know what Ryan Tannehill is without Derrick Henry and really without the 2 wide receivers, without A.J. Brown and without Julio Jones. They're below average offense without those 3 guys. So, if you tell me they're getting those guys back next week, then I might rethink something. But you telling me those guys going to be out probably, the rest of the year? 3 games left? Yeah, they in danger of losing the AFC South to the Colts. Because the Colts are on a roll right now.
And not to kind of backtrack a point, but I did have one more point in reference to that Steelers-Titans game. And I guess I know we kind of in playoff projection mode, but I got a real question. Why does the chain gang still exist in the NFL?
You mean like the actual physical chains?
Why do they still exist?
Because I don't want to say they're ignorant to technology, but I think it's an easier way for them to.
Do you think it's nostalgia?
Yeah, I believe it's a piece of nostalgia to the NFL. Could I see where they can make it better for referees to track where the down and distance is? Yeah, absolutely. They can invent some kind of technology for it.
I got to credit Steelers Depot on Twitter and the terrible podcast because that's where I had the idea from. Trey, it's no reason why the chain gang still exists in 2021, bruh. They got cameras flying all over the field.
They got cameras in the
On
pylons.
Yeah, right. There is no reason why a referee. So I'm not sure if you're aware of the last play of the game, but the last play of the game. Well, not the last play of the game, but the last.
The last play for the Titans on offense. Yeah, I know
The
what you're
last
talking
important
about.
play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they throw a pass. Joe Hayden stops them short of the first down.
Yep.
And there's this big conversation about whether Joe Hayden tackled him before he made the first down or not. For the naked eye, it was clear as day. I think for everybody who watched, unless you were a Titans fan, it was as clear as day. Yet we had to go through all these diddy not and those types of things, and I feel like that was a unnecessary drama, an unnecessary trauma to anybody who watched the game live, that we even had to go through that for something that was so visibly clear. I think we need to get rid of the human element and marking first downs. We should have a machine that tells us yeah, and a machine that tells us no, and make it and let it roll like that.
Well, the problem with the refs after that play happened was that they tried to give the Titans a generous spot on the field. Because even watching it live, like when it happened, I said, "Oh, we didn't get it." And then when the ref came to get the ball, he pushed it up a little bit further, and I was like, "Hold on a minute, they about to screw the Steelers again? They about to seriously do this?" And then they brought the chains out. And at first I couldn't tell. Like, was it past the chains? Was it behind the chains? Like, after a while, it took them like 10 seconds to figure out, okay, is it past it? Is it not? And then they just kind of declared it to be, Steelers ball. But like the announcer was saying, they went back to the replay, and that's when they realized that they gave them a more generous spot than what it should have been. Because the replay showed him clearly a yard before the first down. And watching it live, I saw the same exact thing. But I thought they was about to screw y'all.
and Titans fans and players, yeah, that's what y'all get. Because y'all shouldn't have lost. Let's be clear. I don't feel like they should have lost to us. But I feel like it's some sweet karma for y'all for them trying to dance on our logo.
The logo, yeah. They ain't learned their lesson from the Raiders the previous week, I guess.
Yeah. So fuck y'all.
I mean, the ass whooping wasn't as terrible as what the Raiders got, but
for all intents and purposes, it wasn't an ass whipping. But it was a game that I'm sure the Titans went in feeling like, yeah, we got this game, no problem. And you lost, bums.
Yep.
And I hope y'all don't make the playoffs. Bums.
They might lose a division, bro.
I hope y'all don't make the playoffs, bums.
It's possible. I will co-sign.
And I doubt it, by the way.
Well, I will co-sign that I hope they don't make the playoffs either. Yeah. I hope
bums.
If it means that my team needs to get into the playoffs somehow, then I hope the Titans don't make it. Just off the strength of that, just off the strength that they trying to make Tannehill, the featured guy, and he can't do it.
Cause he a bum like your team, bums.
Well, we got practice squad guys, so
don't worry, we some bums too. So there's not saying much. Pittsburgh some bums too, but y'all some bums for losing to some bums.
That's Green Bay. Green Bay's bums?
No, I'm talking. No. I was still talking about Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I mean, I know the Ravens got practice squad guys in certain spots, but we wasn't playing no bums on Sunday. But I tell you what, though. Hold on. Let me give a quick shout out to Mo Cheese in the Facebook live chat, man. Appreciate you, man.
What up?
Yeah, so what I take out of our game against Green Bay, 1 point loss, close loss again. Tyler Tyler Huntley gonna get some money somewhere else, bruh. I don't know how this dude ended up undrafted, but this dude can play some quarterback, and I think he's gonna end up getting the bag somewhere else. He's a free agent this this offseason.
So when you say he gonna get a bag somewhere else, you see him as a starting quarterback after
Yes.
2 games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to have watched any of his games, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like
Yeah.
I know that they. So he had that kind of game in your
215
mind.
yards throwing, 70 something yards rushing, 4 total touchdowns, no turnovers, no fumbles, against the best team in the NFC. Yeah, no secondary in the backfield. We
But that ain't
got
got nothing to do
guys
with
on the
him.
D
But
line out.
talking about
Again,
the defense, but
what's that?
I said you talking about the defense right now. But
Yeah,
all
but
right.
he had to do that in order for us to even have a chance. Like, I mean, I'm
Well, if you had
surprised.
all your corners, he was going to have to do that for y'all to have a chance.
I think more likely, I feel more confident if we had our corners against Green Bay. I know they'd probably
Let's
still
be clear.
light
Green
us
Bay
up.
was
They'll
Green
still
Bay
light
was
us
going to
up.
score
But don't you
25
think
and
they
up,
should have? But don't you
period.
think they should have lit us up some more? 31 points. 31 points. I mean, we were.
31 points ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's. I mean, if I had to guess what the season average was, I mean, who's scoring the most, I would assume that it was somewhere in that 30-point range. So they probably scoring.
Yeah,
I
but it's
mean,
not about
obviously
the
they're one of the better
averages,
scoring
though.
teams.
Because it's not. But it's really not about the averages. It's about what you can do against a secondary that's not experienced, and you Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Chiefs put up 40. I mean, the Chiefs probably average, I'd say 27, 28 points a game this season, but the Chiefs dropped 48 on the Raiders the other week. So it's not like teams can't put up, points in the 40s. Like, I was expecting the Packers to put up points in the 40s.
Let me say this.
That was my expectation.
Oh, well, getting to the Huntley conversation.
Yep.
How much of the Packers hanging 28 or 31? I'm sorry, has to do with Brett Hundley. I mean, for me, the conversation is, and I'm not saying yes or no. I'm saying that's a reach after 2 starts.
To say what? That he's a starter in the league?
To say that he's a starter in the league.
Well, I can understand you saying it's a reach, but I'm just saying against the best team in the other conference, he did that. Against the Bears, and I know, that was just kind of last minute, but he had a drive in the end where he had to go win it for us, and he won it for us. Against Cleveland, despite the 2 fumbles, he was in the moment there to be able to win a game for us, and he kind of came up short. But I think if you're asking me, can he play quarterback? Yes, he can play quarterback. Does he have the skills to play quarterback? Yes, he has the skills to play quarterback.
Sure.
A starter.
But your statement was he's getting a bag next year as a starter. That's a reach for me.
Yeah.
That's a reach for me, bro. I hear you.
And I
That's
understand.
A reach for me.
And I understand that. But look, I mean, Matt Flynn got a bag off of 1 game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you and I would say that doesn't make sense. And
but when has that happened since, though? As a matter of fact, I would venture to say that it hasn't happened since because of Matt Flynn.
Probably. But listen, man, he may not get the bag, but I don't think
he's getting a starting job next year.
I don't see him on the street. I don't see him on the street.
No, I don't see him on the street neither. I mean, like you said, he scored what was it, 29 against the Packers. He had a good game against the He had a good 30. I'm sorry, he had a good game against the Bears, and with little to no time to prepare. Yeah, he had a. I guess you would say he had a up and down, a regular game, but 2 fumbles. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I would ever call it a regular
Against the
game.
Browns, yeah. Against the
Yeah,
Browns,
sure.
yeah.
So I mean, take it how you want to take it. I get it. I'm not saying he's not putting together. I would say he's putting together a good resume. Is all my point. I just think, yeah, I think that's a reach.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But I just, and maybe part of that is I just want to see black quarterbacks thrive in the league. But I think also part of it too is how did this kid not get drafted like at all? Like how did out of 250 something picks, like how did this guy not be one of those picks? Like that
Well,
just
what do you know about him?
Tyler Huntley, Utah quarterback. I think he completed about 72% his career there at Utah. Wasn't a bad quarterback there. But that's really all that I could tell you. I don't know anything further than that. Other than
I say because were they a winning team? Like,
well, that I don't know. That I don't know. And it's not like he's in. Well, Utah is in the Pac-12, so I guess he is in one of those Power 5 conferences. But Utah hasn't necessarily dominated the Pac-12 in recent memory, so I would imagine that they're anywhere from an average team to a not so good team. I would imagine.
Last time I even heard the name Utah's
Alex Smith.
back when Alex Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I even heard about that school.
Yeah. So.
No shade to Slim. I mean, like obviously, he playing ball right now, and so that's just a little bit for me.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I am inclined to start him against Cincinnati on Sunday if Lamar still can't go.
Ain't that the obvious though?
Huh?
Ain't that the obvious?
It's the obvious for me. But I think for some people, people still would want to see Lamar even if he's 75%.
Let me make sure I heard you right then. Maybe I didn't hear you right. You said you would start Tyler Huntley. Tyler, right?
Tyler Huntley.
Lamar Jackson,
Tyler Huntley.
If Lamar Jackson can't go, I would start Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, of course you would. Who else would you play?
I said that. Yep. But I'm saying that right now when it's Tuesday, and I know they got practice. The rest of the week, leading up to the holidays, so things could change. But I'm just saying right now, I think as of right now, there's that conversation about
I'm sorry to cut you off. Is the appropriate statement that if Lamar Jackson isn't 100%, you're comfortable with starting Tyler Huntley?
I'm comfortable. I would say this too. I'm comfortable with him starting even if Lamar has improved his health over the week. Like he's in the practices, he's getting the reps and all that stuff. Like if there was a debate and if there's a choice and say, hey, look, you got to ride the hot hand, even if Lamar, gets close to 90%, 95% healthy. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, with our own two eyes, Tyler Huntley has made this offense look more crisp against Green Bay and I'd say a little bit against the Browns. Then Lamar Jackson has had this offense in the last 5 weeks, I would say. In the last 5 weeks, going back to the Dolphins game.
So you would if Lamar Jackson was 95%, if you were John Harbaugh, you would start Tyler Huntley.
I may lean towards Tyler Huntley. Now, had Tyler Huntley had a dog game against the Packers, then I'd be like, yeah, Lamar, we got to get you back in, man. Even if you're 90%, let's get you back in. But that offense looked crisp, bruh. I can't front. And I was at the bowling alley, so I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I was kind of peeping back and forth during turns. But the arm strength is there. The decision making is there. The quick throws is there. Decisiveness. It looks better right now. It looks better right now. Now. With Tyler Huntley, the offense looks better right now than it has with Lamar in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I don't disagree with you as far as it the look on the field.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I'm starting him over my franchise quarterback, bro. No way I'm doing it.
I can understand that. I totally get it.
No way I'm doing it.
Especially
with us knowing that this is about to be contract year, probably.
Mm-hmm. But they don't have to pay him now. That's
sure. That's why I said
beauty
probably.
of it.
That's why I said probably.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said probably.
That's the beauty of it. They don't have to pay him. They don't even have to pay him this offseason. I mean, he's got the 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I get it. That sounds.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I agree with you. It's a crazy thought, but I think you got to look at it and say, okay, this offense has struggled, the past few weeks, and this kid comes in and offensively they look better. Now I still got problems with play calls. So, I'm sure you saw the 2-point conversion that failed again at the end of the game. Loved the decision again, just like I loved it in the Pittsburgh game. I loved the decision, but I don't like that play call. I don't like that you're rolling your quarterback to the right, you're shrinking the field, and you're only giving them one option. I don't like that play call.
I don't necessarily disagree with them shrinking the field. Maybe the play call. Maybe I can't even really say that. I mean, let's be clear, man. They ran something similar to that against Pittsburgh, and it was wide the fuck open. It's
similar in what way? Because they weren't necessarily
shrink the field. Shrink the field.
Well, they didn't. They really didn't. I didn't. Well, I didn't see it that way. I saw it as Lamar took the snap and it's one guy and that's Andrews, and Andrews got free to the right, and the line just happened to let the best defender on the team go through.
He didn't look to the left. Let's be clear. The ball was snapped and Lamar Jackson did not look to the left.
No,
he looked to the right.
No, yeah, he looked to the right. Huntley
put his back to the left.
Huntley rolled to the right, and that's what I mean by shrinking the field.
Not disagreeing with that. I'm saying he shrunk. I'm saying he turned his back to the. Anybody that went to the left, he would have had to throw across. He would have had to throw across his body against Pittsburgh in a 2-point conversion.
Lamar, you talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, but he didn't roll out though. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that they had similar philosophies in the play call. When you get the ball and then turn your back, you're not throwing to the left. You shrank the field. You're not throwing to the left if you turn your back. Is
that a difficult throw? Like even if he turns his back,
you throw across your body? Yeah, that's a difficult throw.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
And it's not like you had a bunch of time.
Yeah, but I think the throw's more difficult if he turned his back and then he just scrambled to the right. He didn't scramble to the right. All he did was turn his back and just look toward the right. I don't think if he said, you know what, that's not open, let me go center, let me go left, I don't think that would have been a difficult throw because he didn't shrink the field going to his right. I think it's more when I say shrink the field, and again, this is
I know what you mean by shrink the field. That's why I say similar.
Yeah, because,
I know what you mean by it.
Because as Huntley rolled to the right, everybody else rolled to the right. So there was nobody going left in the end zone. There was nobody. I mean, you had Hollywood open in the center, and he just didn't see Hollywood. It was all hey, I'm getting it to Andrews or it's nobody, everybody rolled to the right. Nobody was on the left side. Like with the play with Lamar that you're talking about against Pittsburgh, everybody kind of, I don't want to say scattered, but that play wasn't designed for everybody to go right, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So, but I think what you're saying in terms of the philosophies of the play call are similar. I kind of get what you're saying with that. But I guess because of the way it played out in both instances, it to me it's totally different. I don't even think it's close.
I think the only real similar thing, the only real difference is like you said, he actually rolled, and they actually had defenders there to defend the ball when they threw his way. But that's not a Baltimore thing. That's a lack of defense on Pittsburgh thing. That's a Green Bay being prepared for the type of play that they might run type of thing.
Yeah, I would have just been like, let's just and I know what they're thinking. Their best player is Mark Andrews because Lamar's not on the field. Hollywood is really your second option. Bateman is like your third option, whatever. You got guys on the offensive line that haven't played together, so they're not your best unit. So you're not gonna just go I formation, full back, running back, and two tight ends on each end and just try to maul them in. Even though I wouldn't have mind if they went for it that way. I understand what their mindset was. They wanted to get it to their best player, and they've tried that twice, and it hasn't worked out. I think the next time they try it, I think they just need to put him in the option and say, hey, if Andrews isn't there, then I can just go ahead and run it in for the 2-point conversion. Like, how about a play call that gives you multiple options and not just one? I'd rather it be that way.
Maybe.
Maybe. Harbaugh's taking some heat, man. But
and he should because he lost, but not because that was a bad decision to make.
Yeah, I love the decision. The decision was fine with me.
I won't say I love it. I'll say I respect it. I saw the Instagram post of him asking players like what y'all want to do, y'all want to do, and him, I respect that type of thing.
Yep.
But as a coach, just to throw the devil's advocate on there, as a coach, you got to understand too that players always want to go.
They always want to go for it. Yeah.
You also have the best kicker in the league. Let's say you get the ball first, and you don't have to worry about the whole defensive back situation that he talked about again in the presser. I heard.
Yeah.
So,
but I think the other thing that went unnoticed but shouldn't have gone unnoticed, there was still 42 seconds left on the clock, and for Aaron Rodgers, that's an eternity. I mean, I've seen Rodgers throw.
They also got Mason Crosby as their kicker.
I get it. He has a history of clutch kicking, bad clutch kicking. I agree with that 100%. He did that against against Cincinnati earlier in the year when they were trading miss kick after miss kick.
Miss kickers,
I don't know. I can't count on that. Like
you can't really count on the 2-point conversion. Analytics, as this team is a big analytics team, you can't really count on the 2-point conversion. Seems like either though.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that guy thinks, man.
I'm just throwing devil's advocate. By the way, sure. I agree with you. I would have if I go for it, but the
defense still got to get back out there. At the end of the day,
damned if you don't.
Yeah, at the end of the day. The defense got to, if you kick the extra point, the defense got to go back out there and stop Aaron Rodgers. If you get the 2-point conversion, the defense has to go back out there and try to stop Aaron Rodgers in 40-something seconds. So, I think it was, he might not just he may have just not wanted to put that defense back out there.
No, that's what he said. I believe him. I don't think
Yeah.
he's lying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Playing devil's advocate, and that's all I'm doing is playing devil's advocate. Devil's advocate is hey, you don't want to put the defense out there, but here you are. The offense didn't do what they was. The offense didn't do what they were supposed to do in one play.
Yeah.
And it happened twice.
Yeah.
In games, I would say you probably needed
3 times.
Pittsburgh game
3 times.
Right.
Because in the Cleveland game, when they went for it early, when they shouldn't have gone for it earlier in the game, they missed that one. So
sure, but I'm talking about for all the marbles. But yes, you're right. But for all the marbles, they 0-2 when they could have kicked it.
Sure, and really, I know what you're saying. It's those 2 kicks because it's the end of the game and it's for the marbles. But it's really it's becoming not the decision to go for it, but it's becoming a problem that you're not converting these 2-point conversions. So what is
how many of these situations have to happen
for them to stop doing it?
No, it's a rhetorical question. But how many of these have to happen? You do this. God forbid. Well, now I ain't gonna say God forbid. I hope it happens to you. This happens 2 more times, and you don't get it. And you
3 times. I mean, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I mean, 3 times. I think you got to try something different. I mean, even if you decide we're gonna do it again, I think we got to see a different formation out there. I think we got to see multiple options. I mean, give Huntley an if Huntley is starting next week, I think let Huntley have an option to run 2 yards into the end zone. Like, we're talking 2 damn yards. Like, we can't get 2 yards.
Yeah.
Like, even if we did take an offensive line, 2 tight ends, fullback, running back, and just pound it into, like, we can't get 2 yards. You telling me Devontae Freeman can't get 2 yards? Latavius Murray can't get 2 yards?
I hear you, but I don't quite know about that. When you're talking about the Packers 1, 2, when you're talking about setting up in a run formation that alerts the defense, oh shit, they're in run formation.
Sure, I mean, it's obvious. I get it. It's obvious.
That's that running into a brick wall thing that Pittsburgh does a lot this year. It's like we clearly see. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but I hear you as far as the point as, okay, we want to have a better option to get these conversions.
Yeah, like if my 5 fat guys are better than your 5 fat guys, then let's just run it this way, and I'm just gonna maul you 2 yards into the end zone. Like if it's more about
you can count on 8. You can count on 8 of them.
What's that?
You can count on 8 though. But you can count on 8. You can count on 8 people in that box if they know you run it.
Of course, yeah. Of course, they know what's coming. They know what's coming, and in most cases, some teams stop it, some teams don't, some teams still can't stop it. So
I get your point. I'm just saying that I get your point.
And the way we've been running on, our running game was pretty good against them on Sunday too. So But
define pretty good.
What's up?
Define pretty good.
Averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Like that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. Yeah, I didn't watch the game. That's all I asked.
That's pretty damn good. Hey, can we talk about the Cardinals losing to the Lions and they're on their way to losing the number 1. Well, they've already lost the number 1 seed, but
so they lost it.
They're about to lose the lead into the NFC West if they don't be careful.
Well, let's be clear. I do not believe the Arizona Cardinals. Let's be clear. I don't believe them. But I'd be lying. This is an anomaly. This is an anomaly, bro. Like I'm not gonna sit here and it's a terrible ass time to have an anomaly game. But Tampa Bay just had one, so who am I to judge?
Sure.
So, but this is an anomaly game. I'm not. This don't raise raise my eyebrow. This don't make me nervous about what I think their projections are going to be. as far as a playoff team and all those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had them winning the division, so I don't.
And I had them in the
I'm not.
playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not leaving from that
Yep.
because they had an anomaly game against the Lions. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that, but I don't think this team is going to the Super Bowl. So it's just like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
I don't either. I didn't have them winning the division either.
I don't think they'll be in the championship.
So
So
no. I mean, I honestly, even if they were the 1 seed, I kind of saw them going home early. No matter
yeah,
who came out of that
yeah.
wild card
I
round,
mean, maybe they would have got out the
out the divisional round or
no,
something like that.
yeah, maybe, but I don't.
I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't have that as the case, but I guess it's the combination for me. It's the combination of you in a big game against your rival in the Rams. You lose that game at home to the Rams. The Rams closing in on you now, and then you back that up with the gag order in Detroit like that.
I mean, is it safe or not safe to assume, but is it fair to assume that loss to the Rams was an emotional loss? Division game late in the season.
I think. Well, I don't know if it's an emotional loss or not. All I know is it would have clinched them a playoff spot, and it would have got them an inch closer to the West title. That's all I know. If you beat the Rams on
but the Rams
Sunday,
also knew that.
huh?
But the Rams also knew that.
Of course,
But the Rams
of
also
course,
knew that.
of course,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, I mean, you got to count on the other team too. But for Arizona specifically, you beat the Rams, you're an inch closer to winning the division, and you're setting yourself up pretty good for that 1 seed. So, but for me to back that up with that performance against Detroit, that was like, for me, that was sort of like the shocker of the day until Brady got shut out, of course. But that was
Right. That was good. Yeah.
that for the entire afternoon, that was the shocker of the day.
I mean, sure. I mean, I like I said, I am surprised that they lost. Yes. But I don't really take any stock. I don't really feel different about the Cardinals that they lost to the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Lions had everything to play
I
for. The Cardinals had nothing to play for real.
Because
and I don't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, 4 weeks ago, kind of looking ahead at their schedule going up against the Colts on Christmas. I mean, I gave them a real shot to beat the Colts. Then, now, I don't know that they're gonna beat Indianapolis on Saturday.
Because they had an anomaly game against the Lions.
It's not. But it's not just that. It's not just that they lost to the Lions. It's they lost to the division rival. They lost to the Lions, and then you got a hot Indy team coming in who, and we said this last week that was a winnable game for the Colts against New England.
Yeah, for sure.
And they whooped their ass. Like let's just call it what it is. They whooped their ass in that game. I know the score doesn't indicate that, but they really dominated that game, both sides of the ball there.
But do you feel like? But did you leave? But even in the ass whipping, do you leave that game with the Lions are a better team? Like, it's the age old question that ESPN that the Lions are a better team than the Cardinals. But here's the age old question that ESPN asks when these games happen: did the Cardinals lose or did Detroit win? And it's kind of that situation that
Detroit won.
You know what I'm saying?
Detroit won.
Okay.
I know you probably didn't see the game. You didn't see the game.
Right.
I will admit I was in and out of that game as I was more solely focused on Pittsburgh, Tennessee. That was sort of the main game in the 1:00 window, but I was in and out of that game. The Lions dominated that football game against Arizona. That was a domination of the Cardinals.
So you don't believe that the Cardinals had an anomaly game?
I think an anomaly against that type of team. I guess you're saying. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
well. Let's also remember this too. DeAndre Hopkins is out for the season, which they announced that like later in the week, which is crazy. But I mean, they still got some talent on that roster, and
I'm getting at we don't think that the Detroit Lions. We don't think that Detroit. We
yeah,
okay.
of course,
let me
of
just
course
ask a
we
flat out
don't.
question.
Of course, we don't think the Lions are better than the Cardinals.
But let me ask. But let me ask the flat out question. Let me
Sure.
just ask the flat out question.
Sure.
Are the Cardinals
Mm-hmm.
on their downfall? Are they on? Are they on the backslide where the projections of their?
It's realistically, yeah. And there's a history of that.
Okay.
They did it last year. And there was
Well,
six,
I'm just talking about right now. Yeah,
I know.
right now when you look at the Cardinals playing,
yeah.
do you feel like they're on their backslide? Like
There's a
this
collapse.
they're gonna
A collapse is imminent.
backslide. You think they're gonna backslide into the playoffs after playing their division rival tough?
Mm-hmm.
They did lose, but they played them tough, and then having an anomaly game against the Lions.
Yeah. Because look at the
Okay.
schedule. Look at the schedule. They host the Colts.
Does that change if they? But does that change if they smash the Colts?
Does it change? Of course it changes.
Does your opinion change? Okay.
Of course it changes. Of course. But I'm just
Does it change if they? I'm sorry. I'm asking because I just want. I'm trying to gauge where you are with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
If they beat the Colts last second, let's say last second field goal, they beat the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still on the backslide?
Yes. Only because the rest of their schedule, Dallas is on that schedule right after that. And then you got a Seattle team that's most likely going to be out of it, but I'm sure would get up for that game. It's a division game, so.
So you got them going 0 for 3?
No, I don't have them going 0 for 3. I would pick them to beat the Seahawks, but it wouldn't shock me if the Seahawks got up for that football game. But
so 1 and 2 would put them at what for the
1
year?
and 2 would put them at what do they got? 10 wins right now, so that would put
10
them
wins,
at 11.
so 11 and
So 11 and 7, 11 and 6.
I'm sorry.
So 11 and 6, they probably be the 4 seed, and God forbid they, if they're not the West leader, then they're probably the 5 seed. So anywhere between the 4 and the 5.
Okay.
Probably where we predicted them, right? It's kind of where we kind of had them, right?
I predicted them to win a division. So yeah. So 4. So 4 5. Yeah.
Yeah. This kind of sounds about right. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Tom Brady put up a big fat 0 Sunday night. That's the biggest. That ended up being the biggest surprise of the day. Hey man, the Saints, bro. That defense, man. That defense.
Played a good game.
But I'll say this too. Not having Godwin, he tore his ACL, so he's gone for the year. Mike Evans went out with an ankle, I think, and Leonard Fournette went out with a hamstring.
And he's gone for the rest of the year.
So, is he?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, so that's why they got Le'Veon.
That's why they picked up Le'Veon.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they got
some
former Steelers.
That's what it.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like they're trying to get all the former Steelers that should have got rings in that when we had that offense.
Yeah.
It seemed like he's trying to get all of them rings.
Yeah. Tampa not going to the Super Bowl this year.
I'm
confident in that.
I hope you're right.
I'm confident in that. I'm saying this right now. They not going to the bowl this year.
Why in the hell is Le'Veon Bell on social media challenging Jake Paul to a fight? Like he didn't just see him punch. Like he didn't just see
Woodley,
him.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
he went on social media.
I guess he think he's better than Woodley. I guess.
Right, and I'm sitting here thinking like Willie. Now Willie ain't a boxer,
mm-hmm.
but Willie just got knockout powers to what I hear.
Le'Veon ain't a boxer either.
Right, so for him to get on talking about talking about what do he say? You keep fighting non-boxers, like nigga,
Right.
you not a boxer.
Yeah, he a non-boxer
And
too.
did you see the video of him training?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be clear. He looked like Le'Veon Bell he always been cut. You know what I'm saying? So he in shape.
Yep.
But he looks slow. He don't look like he really.
Mm-hmm.
He look. Yeah, it's just like, come on, bro. Like you doing this. You doing too much, bro. You doing too much. You doing too much. It almost seemed like, and I can't even lie because that's what Bams was saying. Mm-hmm. It seemed like you was trying to find a way to get a check.
Maybe, but at this point, he need to just focus on playing for Bruce Arians.
Well, this is before he got picked up.
I know.
Before he got picked up. So
I know.
yeah.
But at this point, he focused on football right now, and he know he got a real chance to go. Finally get a ring. He got a real chance at that. So
yeah, he definitely do got a chance. Like I said, I don't think he's gonna get it.
He ain't getting it this year because they're not going. You can mark my words. He ain't going. I don't.
So
care.
who
Green Bay.
You at with that right now?
Green Bay.
Okay.
Green Bay. It's got to be Aaron Rodgers, bro. It's got to be the Green Bay Packers, bro. But Dallas look good. They look good.
They look alright.
Yeah.
They played the Giants.
They could have did some more against the Giants.
Yeah, they look alright.
They could have did some more against the Giants.
And the defense looked really good against Washington, but offense, they was alright. Like they wasn't they was alright.
Yeah. And he did turn the ball over against the football team last week too, if I remember correctly.
In a
pick six.
When it was time to put the nail in the coffin is when he threw the pick six.
Right. Yeah.
So that say what you want about it, but I mean, if I had, I'm with you with the Packers, but it's got to be Tampa Bay 2, Dallas 3. Even though that's literally what it looked like, as far as standings. But
yeah, right. But with the losses that Tampa's got now. I don't know, bruh. I mean, they, I mentioned it earlier. They bought back Antonio Brown. Talk about, trying to draw a line and going back on it. Antonio Brown will be back, and you got Le'Veon. You still got Gronk, so he should be good there.
Well, look, one thing is for certain. Tom Brady got chemistry with Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
That's for certain. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
They'll finish out with 3 straight wins.
I don't know what's the rest of their schedule.
Twice with Carolina, 1 against the Jets, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You think so? You like to think so? Yeah. You want to talk about Urban Meyer getting fired, man?
Hell yeah. Let's do that. 12 something in the middle of the night, right?
Man, look. When I read that
Lambo, right?
I laughed my ass off. I'm sorry. I laughed my ass off. That old man just kicked somebody
kicked another grown man,
and hands and feet wasn't put on his ass.
Yeah, he kicked a grown man. Like
he kicked a grown ass man.
That's what resonates with me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that he had such a bad reputation before the NFL. Like that he was a jerk or he was an asshole, and I didn't know he had that reputation.
So when he was at Ohio State, and that whole thing went down, and I forget what he lied about, but he was under fire for some of the stuff that was going on over there. People didn't like his attitude. They didn't like his personality and things like that because
I didn't realize that was
trustworthy. So can we go down the laundry list though of him in Jacksonville? So there's the guy that he hired from Iowa State, I believe, that was a racist. So he said some racist stuff,
Racist shit,
and people was like, "Yo, what the hell you doing?" And so he lets him go. Then it's the Tim Tebow signing that even players on that roster was like, "Yo, like you serious about this?"
It's stupid, but I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, like it was that, but it brought some negative attention to the team.
I'm about to say I can't say it brought some negative attention when that jersey was selling like
it brought some positive. Yeah, that's why I said some.
Right.
That's why I say some. I think the majority of the reaction was positive. I mean, even I said it weeks ago when it happened. They trying to get in the papers and stuff. They trying to win them headlines. Yeah. No question about it. But the players in the locker room was like, "Yo, nah, like seriously."
Because he was trash. But that's because they seen him on the field. He was trash.
Right. So then you got that, and then you had the incident after the Cincinnati game where he decided, "Hey, y'all go at home. I'm gonna go someplace in the state and go hang out at a bar with some young girls."
If I'm, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Or if you got intel on it, I heard he owned that bar.
I didn't hear that. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he did or not. But the reality is, and even though you and I, we felt a little bit differently about it, it got bad pub. It got bad pub. Unfortunately, so that got bad pub, and then now you're kicking grown men. You're kicking grown men on the team. Like that.
I think that's more. I think that's more of an indictment on Josh Lambo than it is an indictment on Urban Meyer. I'm sorry.
Was he that terrible that he got cut?
I don't know. Did he get cut? I don't.
He got cut. Yeah, that's why he told the story. Yeah, that's why he told the story.
I know he was terrible in Pittsburgh for that 1 year. He was trash in Pittsburgh that 1 year.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
We cut him like after 5 games that year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought he was pretty good in Jacksonville. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, he got cut, and then that's when he decided to go tell his story to the Tampa Times, and that's how we found out about it. So that was the straw that broke the back. So overnight, they said, "No, get up out of here, man. Get up out of here." Byron Leftwich, that's a great candidate.
That's for
that opening.
Yeah, it's a great candidate because I want him to get a job, but it's a bad candidate because I don't know that they got nothing going on for them right now.
They're gonna get a top 3
I guess they got a
pick.
Quarterback. Yeah, they got a quarterback, whether you believe him or not. They got a decent running back.
Yeah, Etienne, that's right, because he hadn't played all year, right?
Etienne, yeah, but James Robinson is not a bad running back. Let's forget he was a rookie last year, ran for 1,000 yards.
That's right.
Hasn't been as good this year, but I think he's had some injuries or something this year. They got
I heard
2
a story
good
where he got benched by Urban Meyer. That was a story that was floating around. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe
players hate Urban Meyer, bro. Like Jacksonville players hate him.
I hope it works. If he gets the job, I hope it works out for him. But he's definitely walking into a mess.
Yeah.
That he's gonna have to clean up.
But I think he should be given the time to clean it up, given that he is a Jacksonville Jaguar, alumni. You know what I'm saying? He should be given that
DMV
time.
native.
So
and a DMV native is what I'm talking about.
He went to Marshall, right?
Yes, but he went to DeMatha High School.
Right, that I know, but I'm trying to think because
he went to Marshall.
Full disclosure, every time I go to my aunt's house in Fort Wash, I always see this house around the corner. Nice looking crib, right? Always see this house with a Marshall flag attached to the front of it. And I always used to think, man, whose crib is that? Like, who owns that crib? Never seen anybody come in or out of it, but I used to think, man, could that be Byron Leftwich's house or one of these guys in the area that went to Marshall that, was an athlete? So just wanted to throw that out there. So I watched the Chargers and the Chiefs Thursday night, and
Good game.
it was a good game. It was a good game. I'm happy that Parham is okay. They released him from the hospital, and all is well there. And a couple of other Chargers got hurt in that game too. I forget. I forget who got banged up, but they started losing some guys as the game was going on. The Chargers blew it, bruh. And you and I, we talk about going for it on fourth down, 2-point conversions, which really wasn't the case in this game. It was just more of the fourth down plays that they had. I think if the Chargers had just played the Chiefs straight up, they would have won that football game.
Played them straight up. You mean like what?
Punted on fourth. Well, really not punt on fourth down, because every one of those situations that they didn't get it, they were in field goal range. So I'm saying take the 3 points. And I kind of understand why he kept going for it, because the first drive where Parham got hurt, he caught that. He would have caught that had he not hit his head to the turf. So I think the coach was confident that, we get in a situation like this again, this could work. So I kind of understand why he, went for it a second time.
I think it's that 20/20 hindsight thing, Trey. Much like the and obviously not the same situation, but much like the Ravens, situation we talked about earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
It's just the thing, like when you think you got the numbers, the analytics with you.
God. I'm starting to hate that word, yeah.
I mean, but that's just like the philosophy of y'all team specifically. But but y'all, it's when you think, and then the other part of it, it's the Chiefs. It's like the Chiefs. What, they like 6-7 in a row right now?
Yeah. Can I say something about the Chiefs for a sec? Can I just say something about that?
Sure.
And just looking through their win, their 7-game win streak, they haven't necessarily lit it up on offense. Defensively is really why they've gone on this streak, right? So I think they only put up 20 points against the Giants that one night. I think every team they've played,
outside of Oakland,
outside of the Raiders, that's
Vegas,
and that's the point I was trying to get to. They put up 40 plus twice in that stretch, but it was both to one team. All those other teams they played, I think they scored 13 against Green Bay, a hobbled Green Bay. No Aaron Rodgers in that game, but you would have expected they would have put up more than 13 points against the Packers defense. Giants, 20 points. I'm trying to think who else they played in that stretch. Dallas.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. They put up, 19, I think, in that game? 22, maybe?
I thought it was like 22, I think.
22, yeah. I think you're right there, 22. So I guess my point is that during that stretch, they haven't necessarily lit it up on offense except for against one particular team on 2 different occasions. So for me, and this is just my opinion about it, if I'm the Chargers and I'm playing this team, and look, they held them 13 points through 3 quarters, right? Almost 3.5 quarters, something like that. So again, if I'm the Chargers, and the challenge really is, it's really been trying to put points against this Chiefs defense, because they've been the better, I would say they've been the better unit during, the Chiefs winning streak. They've been the better unit. I would have just played it straight up. Like, hey, we don't get it on third down, we in field goal range, let's just kick it. I mean, they put up, 28 points. They put up 28 points elsewhere. They could have had more. They could have had about 38, 40 points.
Maybe.
Maybe. You know what I mean? I would have just kind of played it straight up. But I understand why he went for it the second time, because it would have worked the first time if he not hit his head on the turf. It would have worked the first time. He that ball was in his hands. That ball was in Parham's hands before he hit his head. So I totally understand that. I think people got on him more for him going for it to close out the half. Because that was,
I think they got on him because he didn't convert it.
Well, that too. But if you take the points, you go into the locker room, you feel good about yourself. Chiefs get the ball to come out, and who knows what they do at that point.
Yeah, but I think it's a statement. I think they were trying to make a statement, bro. That was my point. I think they were trying to make a statement, and sure, they lost the game. Maybe got a little ahead of themselves, but I think they were trying to make a statement. I ain't
doing it too much, maybe doing it too many times throughout the game,
maybe. Yeah. But I ain't never mad at them doing it like that at this stage of the year against that team, division rival.
It's got to result in some W's. At some point, it's got to result in some W's. Because we've seen it. We've seen it with the Ravens. We've seen it with the Ravens 3 times.
It's just
L's.
It just has to result in wins.
Right.
Yeah, it just has to result in wins.
We've seen it with the Chargers.
But I ain't mad at it.
L.
But I just ain't mad at it though.
Respect it. But at some point, I want to see these results end up in W's at some point.
The last thing I got, man. Kind of briefly getting back to boxing, man. Mm-hmm. There is one point in the light skinned nigga column that Frank Gore versus Darren Williams fight.
Yeah.
It looked like you remember that episode of Martin when the Tommy Hearns episode early in the episode, when Martin knocked the fat boy out, and the fat boy got up like, nigga, I thought we was playing, and and clearly Martin wasn't playing. That's what this Frank Gore Darren Williams fight looked like. It looked like Frank Gore thought this was a celebrity boxing match, and Darren Williams didn't come for games. That's what it looked like to me. Like the video, the highlight that's I guess going all over social media when Darren Williams punched him, and then he made the face like, "Oh my God, why you hit me?" Like, I don't know,
that
man.
one, and then there's another one where like he's getting at Frank Gore, and then he just basically shoves him out of the ring. Like he shoves him out of the ring. Like, nigga, I'm not playing with you. Like, this is serious.
Williams clearly
I do
had
this.
something to prove. Yeah, Darren Williams clearly had something to prove. But shouts out to Darren Williams because he clearly had something on his mind that evening.
Yeah. So I guess I forgot this was happening because I'll be honest with you, I thought it happened already like weeks ago when we first talked about it. So where these niggas go from here? It's like, okay, Darren Williams.
I ain't mad at him, man. I'm
not mad at him either. I'm just curious what his next step is.
I mean, obviously, if Darren Williams chooses to fight again, he shouldn't have a problem getting a fight against another celebrity or another amateur.
Yeah.
But I think these things aren't necessarily for. And I could be wrong. I don't think that Darren Williams is trying to become a professional boxer. I don't think. I don't know, but I don't think.
Right.
I don't think Frank Gore is trying to become a professional boxer. I think they, niggas need some bread. Yeah. Niggas been training. Niggas been trying to keep in shape. A lot like the Ocho Cinco thing, except for Darren Williams looked a little like he been doing this a little bit longer. I think they just wanted to have something to do to make some money, keep in shape. Like, these are things they athletes still.
And Darren Williams, bless you. Darren Williams allegedly owns a MMA gym. And I think I mentioned that before, but I haven't confirmed it yet. But I've heard that through some people that he does own an MMA gym. So the inspiration comes from that, maybe. And maybe he has the facility. So
somebody in there training.
Yeah.
So somebody training.
Yep.
But I ain't gonna lie, man. I watched Frank Gore training before the fight. Like, on Instagram, somebody posted and he looked like he hit hard, man. But
yeah.
hey, man.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Frank Gore too, man.
Shout out to him for sure, sure.
Yeah, shout out to him,
it looked like he got an ass whipping.
He got lumped up, but
look like he definitely got an ass whipping.
Hey, bro, you did what you did. I hope I hope life doesn't come at you too fast moving forward.
Hey, man, it's hard to have that conversation about the Bama that got their ass whipped, man.
Yeah.
Like Martin used to say, what is that car? What's that ride in the car like going home after the nigga just got his ass whipped?
Yeah, right. Or if you like DJ Pooh and you got your chain snatched by Debo, what's that ride like? Shout out to the legend. All right. I got nothing else, man. I'm ready to try to watch the rest of this football game. I don't got no TV in here, so I got the game on out there. I want to give a shout out to everybody tuning in, everybody supporting the show. Shout out to you, Mo Cheese, for joining in. Don't forget, folks, you can check us out on our social media on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. You can also check us out on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Continue to click the like button on the Facebook page. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you got questions or comments about the show, you can hit us up at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So that's it for the show. Maestro, happy holidays, brother.
Happy holidays, my G.
All right. Y'all enjoy the holiday. Y'all eat good. Don't hurt nobody. Don't get in no trouble. And we'll holler at you next week. Peace.
Recording stopped.